Yo, what's up, Ember Youth? Today, for the devotional, we're going to read out of Ecclesiastes. Try to say that 5 times fast. Ecclesiastes. It's in the Bible, so Ecclesiastes. I thought for the next few weeks we could read over what this book has to teach us. A lot of what Ecclesiastes says is that this is going to sound depressing, but that a lot of life is meaningless, that a lot of life is vanity. And I don't say that to think like glass is half full, but I think it's just an important reminder for all of us now that if we place all our hopes, all our dreams on the present, in this life, then it really is meaningless. Because sometimes there's a lot of mundane, there's a lot of things in this life that don't make sense. And I think Ecclesiastes just gives a real good, I don't want to say bleak outlook, but it gives us wisdom for how to navigate life and for us not to be so overly attached to what things are. So, in the hopes of reading it, in the hopes of meditating on it, may it hopefully give you a perspective on investing for the future, investing in eternity, and not on just this life. So, here's Ecclesiastes 1. And this is a book written by one of the wisest people that ever lived, Solomon. Ecclesiastes 1, it says, "The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What does man gain by all the toil at which he toils under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun goes down, and hastens to the place where it rises. The wind blows to the south and goes around to the north. Around and around goes the wind, and on its circuits the wind returns. All streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they flow again. All things are full of weariness. A man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said, 'See, this is new'? It has been already in the ages before us. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of later things yet to be among those who come after." Man, so if you were listening, those are pretty encouraging words, huh? And I think from that, just a lot of different images stand out. You know, the sun rises, it goes down. It's just like this routine of, okay, I wake up, I go to work or go to school, I eat, and then fall asleep. And this routine, right? There's a cycle, and it says like things are full of weariness. You know, man cannot utter it. It just seems like very monotonous sometimes. And I think it's interesting. It says in verse 10, "See, this is new. It has been already in the ages for us." It says there's nothing new under the sun. You know, it's like you know, with the iPhone, right? There's in the past people have communicated before phones, so like even this like iPhone isn't really a new concept. And in the future they'll make apps and they'll come up with inventions, but really it's just a repackaging of things that have already existed. And I think in just reflecting on this first chapter of Ecclesiastes, you know, you might look at that and say, "Oh man, that's kind of depressing. That's kind of bleak. Like vanity of vanities, really? Like, is it all meaningless?" And it's just something to think about, right? Something to think about. If all there is to life is this current life that we're living in, if all there is just to eat, just to work, get married, and then die, then it really is meaningless. And so I think this author, Solomon, is trying to get us to the point where we can hope on just not in the life here, but in eternity, as we'll see in the next few chapters. And so, look at how good I did today. I kept it under 5 minutes. I just wanted us to be reflecting on a few questions. First question is, like, what are the things in your life that you feel like are kind of like what he said? Like, what is vanity? You know, like, you know, it can't last forever. Is it your good looks? Is it your grades? Is it your money or social status? Like, what do you know that can't last forever? I think that's something good to reflect on, especially because sometimes we're so attached to things on earth, so attached to the things that are temporal, right? And I think that can sometimes be a hindrance if we're so attached to just the carnal, just the now. And so that's my first question. And then the second question is, about being new under the sun. What are examples that you guys see that are just repackagings of what's happened in the past? Maybe um, it's like I said, technology, or maybe it's a new invention, maybe it's some other kind of idea. What are examples that you see that are really not new? Because in reality, nothing is really new under the sun. Everything's just the word I keep using is repackaging, right? We just repackage old stuff and make it seem like it is new. And then my final question is, um, if that is true, if it's true that all of this life is vanity, then how can we prepare for a life that matters? If the things here, just the routine, just the grind, just that kind of dreariness of just life is here, then how do we prepare for a life that is meaningful for the future? How do we set our hopes not on just this present and right now? It can be very monotonous. A lot of people are staying at home and kind of getting bored with their routines, and everybody wants to be out of their homes and get on to the next thing. But it is very, very, very dreary right now. So how can we set our hopes not just on this life but in eternity? And maybe that means you spending time in the Word, trying to reflect on God's character. Maybe that means you spend extended time in prayer. Maybe that means you ask some of these questions about, hey, am I really living for eternity? What does that mean? What does it mean that God's made me for eternity and I'm just so focused on the present? So that's it. That's the shortest Devo I've done so far. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. Bye, Ember.